Okay, this is Alex from Wilbraham. What's up, Alex?
All right. I just have a question for you, Wiggy. Who's the leading scorer in history for NCAA Division I basketball?
Caitlin Clark. She passed Pistol Pete.
All right. So then that's irrelevant. That Angel Reese is crying like a 2-year-old because she's jealous. Her quote literally says, "What about me?"
Yeah.
I mean, what about you? You're a mediocre post player that can't get the job done.
But
like,
Alex,
what are you doing? What are you talking about?
Alex, let me ask you this question. Prior to the national championship game between LSU and Iowa, not this past season, but the season before, you had no idea who Caitlin Clark was, and she was balling her first 2 or 3 years in college basketball.
No way, man. No, she's been balling. Exactly, she's been balling her entire time. But
and you didn't know who she
Angel
was.
Reese makes her irrelevant. I didn't even know who Angel Reese was. I've known Caitlin Clark better than Angel Reese. This girl who's crying like a 2-year-old asking, "What about me? No. What about you?" Like, there's no reason that she can actually put any stats or anything that's going to help her team. I will say the good thing about Angel Reese is that she is creating this discussion and really making it an exciting, entertaining watch. It's, unfortunate that's coming down to these, poor behavior. But in the same token, like, people are talking about it and it's exciting. So, yeah. I don't know. Caitlin Clark, most dominant basketball player in the game right now. I think she's going to be great.
No.
I think the bottom line is they were both beneficial to each other because when you look at headlines, they both benefited. Both of them are going to get amazing money in endorsements outside of what they're making on the court. Angel Reese will get just as much as Caitlin Clark.
Not gonna get that.
Wait a minute, but it's what you do with the popularity. If you're going to buy into it and you're going to continue, Caitlin Clark kind of has been not saying too much off the court. I understand she's a trash talker on the court, but if Angel Reese continues to trash talk in front of the media, then people are going to paint her a certain way.
One was viewed as classless, and the other one was viewed as classy.
Correct. I agree with you there. But that was 2 years ago.
And even to this day.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too.
But it started 2 years ago.
Look at me.
You know what I find amazing is we live in a society where literally everyone is a victim, and we accept it, except actual victims. It's like, I don't know anything about any of these people, but Caitlin Clark was a quote-unquote basketball play victim of a dirty play. The girl did it after the game. She didn't in any way retract it, was proud of it. And now everybody's blaming Caitlin Clark because people are watching their sport in record numbers because of her. It doesn't make any sense to me.
What do you think Angel Reese is going to do when the Cavender twins get out of college and get the most money ever to join the WNBA?
They're not going to. The Cavender twins have already said they're not going to. And watching how this has played out, I wouldn't either because they make so much money off the court. So if people are upset with how much Caitlin Clark's making in endorsement deals, the Cavender twins will get ruined.
This is Nate. Hello, Nate.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
Not so much. Hey, Curtis, you're right, man. Why don't people wake up and I don't. You're towing the Gatorade for the left here. This whole narrative about privilege and racial and the divide. This whole divide with this country and Biden. They're the ones who are sitting here and dividing people. Just look at it this way. This is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
When Jordan was playing, I go, I don't care about the color of his skin. That dude was bad, man. Why can't we just say that with Caitlin Clark? Man, she's awesome. Just look at her. But no, it's the, poor me. Like you said, Curtis, poor me. Oh, poor me. I'm not getting any recognition. I'm not getting recognized. Rather than going, guess what? They're not looking at this as a whole. Guess what? All that money's being brought into the WNBA, and everybody's going to get that money. Just like Tiger Woods. The same thing with golf. Enough's enough. This whole thing of just, poor me, like the whole divide in this whole country, and people keep throwing that stupid line because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They go, you know what? If she busted her butt all her life and got to where she got to now, give her cred, give her flowers. This is all bull. It's all bull, and you know it, Iggy.
Yeah, but Nate, it's not that I don't know it, but this is the world we live in. Like, they were doing the same thing with Larry Bird. Like, give me this Jordan thing. They were doing the same thing when Bird played. Like, this whole world. Like, my thing is, can we stop living in this fake world where race doesn't exist? and we want it to be all
it doesn't
rainbows
exist,
and
but
Skittles.
But it doesn't exist for everybody. Like I like.
But those are the naive people.
It doesn't matter. I look at these two particular female basketball players.
Yes.
One of them is a much better player. Overall, a much better player. Do we all agree on that?
She's a better player. I wouldn't say a much better player.
Okay, she's a better player.
Yes.
That's why she's got my attention.
Okay.
What?
You're one of the Greg, listen, I love you to death, but you're one of the naive people, and I wish more people were like you and didn't see it. But unfortunately, the world that we live in, people tuned in because of the race element that was started with Iowa and LSU and Caitlin Clark and the whole Angel Reese situation with her doing the John Cena. And
I know she did the John Cena
and
thing.
then
We talked about that, and then we were gone from it, and we never talked about it again, or at least I never talked about it again until Caitlin Clark had a chance to set the NCAA scoring record for both men and women.
And the most watched women's college basketball game didn't involve Angel Reese.
No, because everybody wanted to see her perform. I think what happened then the next year in college basketball when they lost to South Carolina in the championship, it wasn't about – because people didn't view South Carolina like a team of thugs like they did LSU the year before.
And we talked about it, and a lot of people spent the year after LSU won going at Angel Reese on social media. I told you guys that I looked at the comment section on a few of her posts, and it was a disgusting place. So while we didn't.
But what does that have to do with anything?
Well, because I think Wiggy's trying to make a point that there was a white v black situation from that championship that carried on.
Okay, there's always that, but there's always that situation, unfortunately, unless you just ignore it.
Well,
I mean, why?
Because that's, Greg, unfortunately, that's not the world that we live in.
Maybe if you ignore it, people will stop dividing everybody based on race. Maybe. Like, I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. It goes on over and over and over again. People find the way to work it into the smallest of situations. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's the way people have to deal with it, right? See, the issue is a lot of the times, and guess what? It's unfortunate, but the issue is black people deal with race differently than white people because for the majority of it, black people feel racism more than white people.
Yes.
And they understand the hurt and the pain. So when Angel Reese is talking about the people that are like calling her all types of vile things or racially, she feels it differently. Where people still criticize Caitlin Clark.
People probably say vile things to Caitlin Clark, too.
But it's not on the same level.
Here's what I would just say quickly. If you believe, Wiggy, or anybody, that we wouldn't be ripping Caitlin Clark if a teammate of hers shoved Angel Reese and after the game Caitlin Clark said, "What about me?" We would all be ripping Caitlin Clark. I would be at the front of the line saying, come on, that sounds petty.
So why are you ripping the Caitlin Clark's teammate for throwing Angel Reese down to the ground with dirty play?
That was a different game.
Excuse me, the game
wasn't Caitlin Clark.
It was the other game before that.
And it was part of, if you want to actually compare the two plays, it was a rebound where they were both right there. There was actually a basketball nearby.
Right, but she came down with the fall.
I have seen that done a ton of times in the NBA. That is a very common foul. It is. I mean, I'm sorry, Wiggy. Yeah. That is a much more common basketball play than randomly hip checking someone.